Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to Synchronicity Web TV. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and this is your moment of synchronicity. Well, I'm so excited to celebrate with you today, April, Cosmic Homegirl. Now, if you watch my channel, you've seen her so many times on my channel. She tends to be my go-to person when it is that I need someone to fill in, or whenever it is that I'm looking for someone to just contribute to the channel with the really great content, because she always comes through. I love her knowledge and I love her charisma as well. And it's actually April that I discovered way back in the day. I mean, we are going way back when she and this very talented astrologer named a.k.a. Did this look into my chart. And it was so insightful, so brilliant. I'll try to find that link and link it below, because they really tapped into some things in my chart that made me realize what great astrologers they are. And now more and more you get to see, and I get to see how amazing April is. Now, April is coming back to Synchronicity University, and you can see that we've got an incredible lineup for September. No, not September. It is November 2023. We're recording this in September. But yeah, she's going to be around in November teaching, and until the end of October, until Halloween. You can choose your tuition rate as low as just $5 a class to learn from April and so many other talented astrologers as part of the November 2023 speaker series. April, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hey, good to be back.
Well, I'm so glad you're back. You know, I just love you as an astrologer. As I said, you're my go-to, right? Whenever it is I need people to fill in, you are the first person who comes to mind. And so now you are coming to Synchronicity University once again. And so I'm so excited about that as well. And so I know that you'll be teaching on appearance and astrology. So what is it that made you interested in appearance and astrology and the connection there?
So the reason why I'm super connected to it is in my own chart, I have a lot of Venus energy, and, Venus rules the appearance. I have planets in a Venus sign and a Venus house, and then I have planets in Libra. So Libra and Venus are really all about the appearance. And then, I have struggled throughout growing up and in my early, adult years and stuff with my own appearance and acceptance of it. And astrology really helped. I have Venus conjoined to Chiron in my chart. Venus, once again, she's a ruler of beauty and appearance and everything. And Chiron challenges her to accept herself. So I have been on a mission ever since I learned so much about, like, some things about you, including how you look, are just written. And astrology shows that. I really want to be on a mission to spread awareness about that, help other people. But besides that, the fun part, I have a dash of Leo in my chart too. So I'm really into, like, fashion and beauty and celebrities and what they're wearing and how they look and why. And, through that, I observed a lot and learned a lot. And I'm able to break it down too, of why we look the way we look and why our appearance is what it is. And we choose, certain garb that we wear and makeup or no makeup or hairstyle. I mean, there's just so much to it. And I find it to be a very healing part of astrology, but also fun. It's so much fun.
It is powerful to consider how astrology can help us reach that level of self-acceptance that much more deeply. But also, I think about Venus as celebrating your unique beauty, because beauty means different things to different people, just like freedom means different things to different people. Happiness means different things to different people. Yeah, so does beauty. And it's so interesting that you connect that to Venus in particular. Now, one thing I will say, and I was thinking about this the other day, I do have Venus in Capricorn. So it's at the very beginning of Capricorn, but it's conjunct a Sagittarius moon, which is my chart ruler. And I have found that, especially the older I get, and I know that a lot of people feel this way, whether or not they have Venus in Capricorn, and it is something that they hold dear, but I'm able to just enjoy all those, like, Venusian things that much more. and find that greater sense of ease and, yeah, just okay with being me that much more and more. And that was very powerful to realize, to see that in the chart and be like, yeah, that's exactly what's been happening for me.
Yeah. Well, I must say, I was telling you off camera, like off recording, you always look amazing when you're on camera. And that's very inspiring to me. I mean, I like to keep it raw and keep it real with what I teach and talk about with astrology. Sometimes I may go on live streams with like my glasses and no makeup, but I'll still have my hair done. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, Miss Nadiya, she's always looking fly. So I mean, she's inspiring to me. I have to keep it cute, at least somewhat.
Well, it's part of the fun for sure for me. And it's part of the ritual, like getting me ready for the whole thing. And there have been just a couple of videos that I've posted online without makeup, but there was some reason I did it. Like one time I remember I was experimenting with some techniques that I saw on some YouTube channel. And obviously something must have been going on. Something must have been retrograde because it didn't work. And so all these people were commenting about my makeup and like, oh my God, what were you doing? And stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God. So then I came on without makeup and I was like, you know what? It's all good. It's all authentic. And that's the thing. Like, I don't like it when people say things like, and maybe that's not the right way to put it, but for me, self-expression is so important. Like I think about how many choices I've made in life because they allowed me to just express myself and be myself. And that especially includes with my look. And I just can't imagine another way of being myself without also really enjoying the fabulousness that is life, right? And that includes the makeup and the hair and all that, as you say. And what is me changes as we go along as well. The other time I remember not wearing makeup was I was sick. And so literally I had to come online so that people could see, look, I am actually sick. So there's a reason that videos are late and things like that. That's another time I remember, like, literally, I just gotten enough strength and I came on. Other than that, no, I love getting dressed up. I love it. It's so much fun. It's like being a little kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I wanted to teach about, like placements in your chart. It can show, maybe because of your placement of Venus and how she's next to the moon, that's like a lot more femme and soft, and and wherever it is in your chart, maybe I believe Venus in Capricorn. So in whole sign house system, it's seventh house. So that's double Venus energy right there. So yeah, I have Venus in the seventh as well. And that's just our thing. We embody a lot more Venusian energy, whereas maybe someone else, maybe other ladies, they may have like a Venus in another house placement, or maybe like a Venus in Aries and she's just raw, like I'm just here, whatever I look like, you guys are just going to take it, but she's still her and she's still beautiful, so that's what I really love about astrology, is it shows our differences and why we look the way we look, and why we choose, makeup or no makeup, or certain things that we wear. I used to work in an office with all ladies who were all these like fiery, fire sign, raw energy ladies, and they were into sports and everything. And then here's my little Venusian self twiddling in, mostly late all the time because, I had to get dolled up. And they would always ask me like, why do you wear makeup to work and all this? And I'm like, oh, I wish I could say, you see the way my chart is set up. That's my favorite phrase. You see the way my chart is set up. I'm Venusian. This is what I have to do to feel good. It's not always an insecurity thing. It's just, this is how I express myself, my look, So yeah, it really does show a lot about us. I love it so much.
Yeah, this is how we get to be ourselves, right? That much more. And I love that all of us get to be ourselves in our own unique way. And all of it is beautiful because it's celebrating people's unique beauty. Now, because your class, and once again, everybody, April is coming back to Synchronicity University as part of the November 2023 speaker series at synchronicityuniversity.com, where you can choose your tuition rate for just a few more weeks until Halloween of 2023, as low as just $5 a class to learn from April and other teachers as well. And so, April, you're going to be teaching on appearance and astrology. And you've already mentioned how there is absolutely that connection. Venus can be one thing that tells us, and there's lots of other things that we can consider as well. I know that for me, when I meet somebody, sometimes just looking at them, like looking at their face, you can kind of see what rising sign they probably are, right? There tend to be some very distinct characteristics related to each rising sign and how that shows up in the appearance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one tool that I use as well when people are curious about like a celebrity life event and they want me to read their chart and their birth information, like that maybe it's just their birthday that's available online, but not the birth time. So then I do a lot of like Scorpio digging, of course, but I look at their appearance and their style and a lot of different things that stand out to me. And I play with ascendants. And, that's one tool that I use is like their features, to really tell me something about what rising sign I should play with and see if it works and if that's the missing piece. So yes, indeed, there are some different characteristics that stand out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through them. I think it would be interesting. I mean, we're just going to touch on it here. We're just going to go through a few keywords per sign. But won't it be interesting for people to learn those few keywords and then start looking at everybody around them and being like, oh, I bet that person is this rising sign, that person is that rising sign, because your rising sign really does represent your appearance, doesn't it? It's how you're perceived, what you put out into the world most immediately. I think, and one thing I really realized is there's a difference between your rising sign and your midheaven. And the reason I mentioned this is because I remember going to Madame Tussauds years ago, right? And I was shocked at how many celebrities I didn't recognize. Like I was looking for Madonna and I'm walking all around and then finally I'm like, oh my God, that's Madonna? Really? I'm looking for Jennifer Lopez. And I'm like, really? That's her? And that's when I really realized that, yeah, it's one thing when they take the exact, how you actually look, that's your rising sign. But how the world sees you can sometimes be a very different thing.
Yeah.
And so that is something to take into account as well. But here we're going through rising signs and how, when you meet people in person in particular, what impression you might get. So let's do it. Let's go through the signs. Let's start with Aries.
Aries, I would say maybe a larger head or more prominent forehead could be an indicator of an Aries or Aries rising. Since Aries.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Taurus, I would say full lips are an easy indicator if their lips are more full. Gemini, I would say if they are, and these are all just touching on it very generally, maybe shorter stature, like extremely short stature, small features, Gemini. Cancer, I would say, Cancer rules the chest area. So a woman, her chest area may be more, what's the word, like noticeable. And if it's a man, I've noticed Cancer men, they still have a very, nice chest. You know what I mean? Leo, hair, the hair, especially if it's like a lighter color hair, more on the blonder side, or, if they're dark hair naturally, but they have they tint it lighter, or blonde wigs a lot nowadays. Leo. Okay. Virgos. Virgos have, like a more of an innocent looking face. I can explain more in the class in detail of what I mean by that, but they may have a face that's a little bit more innocent looking or youthful. They look young for their age. That's a dead giveaway. Always young for their age. Libra, if their features are more narrowed and chiseled, Libra naturally just, they're so handsome, they're so beautiful. That's Libra. Scorpio, that's my rising sign. If we look at like a scary demon, I'm just kidding. No, if Scorpios have a pronounced a stare, like look into your eyes, or our eyes are very noticeably what's the word I'm looking for? Our eyes are intense.
Peering. Yeah, right?
Interesting and intense eyes and stare. Scorpio, dead giveaway. Sagittarius, big smile. Right there, big smile, huge smile, Sagittarius. Capricorns, I would say Capricorns, maybe if they look a little more mature for their age, or if they have the little crow's feet, I hate to call it that, but they have, a little bit of, and even if they're younger, Capricorn, okay? Aquarius, maybe like a taller stature for, maybe if in their family is maybe shorter, but they're taller, or like a woman, especially a woman who's an Aquarius rising, she has a higher chance of being taller than other women that are in her peer group, I guess. And then Pisces may have like a sleepier, like a look to them, like they're asleep, or they're tired, since Pisces in the 12th house will dreaming and sleeping and things like that. So they may have a look to their eyes that's like a little bit more like they're just looking out there, you see that in their eyes and in their face. So those are just a few. That's just barely scratching the surface. We are really going to dive in. Those are very general, but okay. In the classes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so once again, as April said, she's going to dive in with her class as part of the November 2023 speaker series at Synchronicity University. You've got a limited time until Halloween 2023 to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class. Well, April, thank you so much. I always love talking to you. I love seeing you. You and I are so alike in how we love to celebrate our unique beauty. And for us, that happens to be feminine, and that's okay. And everybody's got their own way of doing it. There's no one way. I mean, if people have watched me for a while, like I know you have, oh boy. I mean, I was looking at one of my older videos and like all this very interesting eyeshadow, white, silver. Oh, the big star earring. I was having a lot of fun then, and I'm still having fun. So it's great that you and I both, we continue to evolve on social media and to share astrology. And I'm so glad we get to do it together now.
Yes, likewise. And I love how it's documented for you and for me too, to see how we've changed throughout the years with what we were vibing with at the time with our appearance. And that's another thing with astrology and the appearance. I'll touch on a little bit in the class, but there's certain generational planets that planets will travel through certain signs at a certain period of time. That's what marks the style of eras as well, and what's popular at that time with makeup, with clothing and hairstyles and everything. So it's great that we're really into our looks and playing with them, and we are a part of like marking. We're astrologers. We do something totally different than celebrities, but you could see our videos throughout the years where we were experimenting, like you said, with our makeup and things like that, when makeup was all the rage, when Neptune first went into Pisces and was really getting into Pisces, and all the makeup tutorials on YouTube came out and everybody had to have a palette, and that is Pisces right there. And I did that too. I had some videos where I had this heavy glitter eyeshadow, and I had some comments that were interesting, but I was like, listen, I was in a little personal Leo era, and I was all about the glitter, and Neptune was in Pisces and I'm a Pisces moon. Leave me alone. It was cute. So I just love this part of astrology, and I love sharing it with you guys. So yes, thank you, Nadiya, for this opportunity. I'm so excited.
Me too, April. Thank you again. I've rocked the glitter with you, rock neutrals with you. Let's see what we rock next. But thank you again, April, for being here. And thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Until we connect again, take care. Bye.